A chain reactor spitting fire. The NFT analyzer. Diving deep into projects. He's the crypto energizer. From your mint coins to tokens. He's got all the intel. Web3 is a tree to show you where to excel. He's got the insights like a digital magician, unveiling secrets of the blockchain with precision. Wild stories from the web, he's always in.
Yo, good morning, guys. Mega GMs. Happy Tuesday. It's February 25th. We'll call yesterday Bloody Monday and maybe Bloody continuing into Tuesday here. What a wild day here in the market. Here, I'll just jump ahead. My favorite image in the past 24 hours. I mean, it sums up everything, right? It's made by yours truly. But it sums up exactly what's happening out there. It's just red. It's red everywhere as far as the eyes can see. I mean, there's almost nothing that's up here in the past 24 hours. Some things, and in fact, pay attention to what's up when the market looks like this. But you know our vibe and our sentiment and how we always say we're not going anywhere. We're here. Rain or shine and markets up, down, whatever. We're here. We're paying attention. We're staying plugged in. I don't know why, but days like this especially just kind of put a smile on the face. Again, I don't know why. Maybe we're a little twisted here. But you guys watching, I know we feel the same thing. I know it. We've been riding through this together for years at this point. So if there's one image that sums up what's happening here, the vibes in the space today, boom, right there. Let's hit some GMs and we'll get into the show. Yo, good morning. Red means good if you got cash. Dude, exactly that. Walshy had replied to my tweet and said basically the same thing. This is when you go spend those stable coins. Totally right. And this is why it's a good reminder. You got to stable up. You have to. Like, I don't care how much it feels like we're going to keep going up, right? How much higher we're going to go. It's true. Market is going to go higher. We are going up. But you need to be taking some off the table then and stabling up because you also want to play days like this. You absolutely want to. This is where you get your best opportunities for free money. Free money. You start buying into a market like this, days like this, you print money. And make no mistake, this is what the top traders are absolutely doing. So I hope we were prepared. And if not, I hope it's yet another reminder that that's exactly how you got to be playing it. It is what it is. Hoods, good morning. Great to see you. People laughing at AI coin holders, but I think we got another. Yes, sir, dude. Yes, sir. AI is going to be more than fine. You know, these days that rattle people's confidence and how quickly we forget some of these, takes we saw out there. The CEO of NVIDIA saying agents, specifically the AI agentic part of that AI ecosystem is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. We forget that so quickly. I mean, Twitter's got an agent, right? And Meta is coming with an agent, and Microsoft, right? It's so obvious where this is going. So you can't let days like this spook you, and especially don't listen to people posting on X who don't know anything. I mean, they just don't. Over on Abstract Dead, it's great to see you, man. Joined early, too. Remember, we stream a little early on Abstract before the show goes live on YouTube and on X. Just kick it off, and we vibe over there. Dropped a link to Abstract here in the chat on YouTube. Who else is over there? Bam. Good morning. Cats, good morning. Digital Rothman, thank you very much, and good morning to you. Great to see you. All right, let's get into it. By the way, this is just random point, but considering a little tweak to this show, and I say that a lot, and I do make these little changes, but okay, someone mentioned to me yesterday that they really like the AI show, and specifically about the AI show, which, reminder, 2 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, we have a new AI show. Right? Cover the market, cover, kind of top happenings in AI. But like the length of that show, 30 minutes, which I get. I totally get, right? Like this show here, when this show started, it evolved into a 5-minute show. Heavily edited. I would just chop and just hit market, top stories, and boom, 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 boom. I love that. That is still my favorite content I've produced yet. There's a middle ground here, which is chain reactor and kind of tighten it up. Look, I like the hanging out part. It's my favorite part of doing anything. It's us getting to hang out and engage with the chat and us talk about what's happening. But I think there is room to make this show what I initially like envisioned, which is hit it quick, like blitz through the market and the top stories. Blitz through them, like really fast, no takes, right? Just kind of factual stuff. And then the second end or the second half or the end of that, get that all in 20, 30 minutes. And then we can come back and talk about the main story. So thinking of that, working on that, you know what I mean? But I'm really considering that just to kind of get this show, I think, packaged a little more. You know what I mean? Sigma, good morning. Agents are cooked so they can do more than tweet. Yes, sir. I think they're in the process of doing that right now. In fact, I know they are. I think the next evolution of agents is basically here. These utility agents, like things that they promised a couple months ago and they didn't do, but trading and actual insights in alpha functionality. It's coming. It's actually really starting to happen now, which is cool. I think Infra takes agents to the next level. AI 16Z and ARC. Yes, it's exactly that. It's happening. Now that we're building, and speaking of building, but now that we're building in AI, very closely connected to some really great projects in AI. You'll hear some of this coming up in the next few days. But I think behind the scenes, we're realizing how much further along it is than it appears on the surface. What you're describing is actually happening right now. It's pretty great. Anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe here, SlamX Official, over on YouTube, especially if you missed the live shows. You catch them all right there. Our flagship agent, the Swarm, you can follow at the Swarm_AI. Big news coming again very, very, very soon. I'm not going to be shocked to see some announcements today. Maybe. I won't be shocked. The Slam AI ecosystem, follow along at SlamAI_XYZ. Again, stay tuned. If you are farming bull tokens, that's turned off now. If you are farming bull tokens, you have a Swarm token airdrop coming. Again, details of that coming. And then finally, you can follow us at CryptoSlam.io. Stay on top of everything going on here in the CryptoSlam ecosystem. Find me at Hudah_idiot, by the way. All right, let's do it. Let's get into it. Actually excited to check crypto prices. Haven't peeked in a minute here, but this is what greeted us yesterday and this morning, and it just felt like the bottom fell out, and it just kept falling and falling and falling. We've said recently, too, I know last week, and especially in the past couple of days, said I'm not going to be shocked to see Bitcoin down in the 80s. Not going to be shocked at all. And more than that, guys, I actually won't be shocked to see it down in the 70s. I don't think we go any lower than that. I don't think. But not surprised to see it where it's at now. And what I'm really watching for is to see, basically, as far as we fall, how long do we stay there? That's the real alpha. That's the real insights I'm looking to learn from whatever's happening right here, right now. It's what kind of support do we find here? And I think it's going to be pretty incredible, by the way. I do. I think this is a completely different market. I do think the typical 4-year cycle is done. That doesn't mean we don't follow it to a degree. But I do think things are pretty different now. And I think part of that is the TradFi investors and institutions buying into Bitcoin specifically at the state level, at the national level, at the nation level. Guys, it's a different time now. So this doesn't register, doesn't phase me, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And in fact, the only way it matters is us learning who's looking to buy discounted Bitcoin. And I think a lot. Cats, yeah, bull farming probably just ended like a day or two ago. And so here's what happened. People were telling me they were getting transactions from the bull. Like they were farming, they were getting an Explorer link, and it would show 0 tokens. Something was maybe misconfigured, or he was hanging on to something. And he thought he was sending stuff out, and he wasn't. So it's only as of like a day ago. Hopefully it did not waste people's time there. But that's over. It's time for the next phase here, cats. And that info coming really soon. Hey, Pudgy Grandpa, great to see you, man. Great to see you. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Yo, Anon, thank you, man. You look cool. You look fucking cool. All right, actually, before we hit the macro market, guys, there was a big happening yesterday. A pretty crazy happening. Thank you guys for the Pangu. SPF, is that Prince? It is Prince, of course. Thank you, dude. Really, really appreciate you, man. Very cool. SBF returned to X. Shocked everybody. In fact, I saw the tweet and I thought it was a parody account. I assumed right off the bat it's a parody account. But no, it's actually SBF's legit real account. How in the world he's tweeting from it? From prison? He's still in prison with Diddy, right? They're basically cellmates. I don't know if they're in the same, whatever. But he legitimately posted for the first time in well over a year. Well, we can peek. I think it's probably well over a year. It might be a couple years at this point. Let's see. When did he last tweet? 2023. Dude, it's been almost 2 years. It's been over 2 years. Over 2 years since he posted. And we get an SBF tweet. Like, what in the world is going on here? And actually really strange content, too, talking about this sympathy for these people getting let go. These government employees here in the States that have been, let go. Commenting on that's super strange. Like, the timing didn't make sense. Like, really, really weird. And then you start connecting some other dots out there. And of course, it's some shenanigans going on. Okay, coincidence maybe that an SBF token 10 minutes before that tweet started cooking, started pumping a bit. Coincidence? I think probably not. And then next, we had at this one an actual knockoff account, SBF Doge. Dude, he tricked some people initially, right? Some people thought this was real. Tweeted out that he's getting a pardon from Donald Trump. And then he's going to work for Doge. So you can see the setup here. Him talking about the government employees and people getting fired. Then this fake account tweeting about him pardoned working for Doge, right? Cutting the fat here. And go figure, it's a contract address that's dropped somewhere in this mess. Where's the CA? Yeah, a CA was dropped somewhere in here. Of course, now those dots connected makes a lot more sense. I think his account's compromised. I think, maybe not. Maybe he's helping out a buddy. He's got some buddy who's launching some shitcoin, and maybe he somehow got access to his account. If any of you guys got more details on that, I'm dying to know. But all in all, it looks like a very calculated, coordinated thing, and the question is, was he involved in it? And maybe we'll find out. At the very least, hilarious. Like, man, I live for the stories here. As much as it's fun trading and hopefully making money in the space, I live for the stories, man. It's the funnest space. And yet another milestone, something we're going to talk about. We're a couple years down the road from this. We're going to look back to this cycle, and we're going to talk about the Trump token, yes, and we're going to talk about Libra, and we're going to talk about the Kanye drama, and we're going to talk about SBF tweeting from prison in some kind of shitcoin launch. Incredible stuff. Just couldn't ask for a more exciting space to be in. Is the coin for Slam AI out yet? No, not yet, but details of that coming really soon too. That's the top dog. That's the top dog. That's the pinnacle of the ecosystem. And I got to tell you guys, as excited as I am about the bull and more excited about the swarm, the Slam ecosystem, I got to tell you, and I told the team this yesterday and I've told them many times, what the Slam AI ecosystem is and ultimately the product that's there, and I can't wait for you to see it, is my favorite thing we've released ever. And I mean, I lied to the team, actually. I told them it's my favorite thing since the initial Crypto Slam site. So since the Crypto Slam site launched in 2018, I'm like, this is my favorite release since then. We've had a bunch of stuff. This is my favorite. Okay, the lie was, I actually think this is cooler than the Crypto Slam site. Respect to it and all. Like, I love it. You know this. But but this new iteration, Slam AI, my favorite thing we've done, period. I'm really excited about it. Can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. Oh, dude, I didn't even realize I saved this tweet. Anyway, scam coin, whatever. Moving on. All right, look at the crypto market with me here, guys. It's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, so this is yesterday about 2:30 p.m. At that point, it was bad, but it wasn't crazy. At that point, $110 billion wiped out of the crypto market, but man, it got much, much, much worse. Just 5 hours after that, we were at $325 billion wiped out of the crypto market. Gone. And I'll tell you, the timing is interesting, man. The timing's interesting, and maybe the players are interesting. And I look, we've been talking about Marty Party and his investigations recently, and I think he's on to something there. I think he's on to something. which is a whole bunch of manipulation here in the market and exchanges that are trading against you, literally wiping you out. Still, this is interesting too, seeing how far into fear we are, which, man, all the ups and downs we've had, and especially during the down periods, this index has not really dipped into the fear area. It hasn't, which probably should be a good warning for people, or should have been. You need to be in this, you need to be deep there in the orange red. You have to get the other side and the extremes of euphoria. You don't get that without this side. And here we are, extreme fear. Tell you what, feels good to me. I'm trying to think of an analogy I can use. I'll just use the analogy. How about this? There's a King Gizzard song, and it's about an AI or a robot that wants to feel sick, because then that's how you feel alive too. The flip side of feeling sick is you appreciate the health. You feel good. It's you don't feel good. You don't get happy in the market. You don't have those extremely rewarding periods without this. You have to have it. You have to have it. So I'm happy to see it. We need it. We need that flushing out. That said, if it's fake, if it's manipulation, obviously not a fan of that. Looking at the crypto markets here, and actually a decent little recovery. Well, I take that back. We got to what, 80? Did we get to 87K? Actually would like to take a look. But you see there, Bitcoin at 89K. Did we get to 87? Yeah, we did. In fact, we almost got below that, almost into the 86,000 range. So a slight little recovery here just in the past, couple hours. But there you see it, down 6.7% in the past 24 hours. ETH down almost 10%, guys. Solana down 12%. I have some stable coins finally, and I'm going to buy, and it's not much, but I'm definitely going to be a buyer somewhere here. When I can feel, and I'm going to I'll try to time the bottom, maybe a mistake, but when I feel like we've maybe reached the end of this, I'm back in. Moonship exactly by the blood. By the way, good morning, man. Good morning to Volatility, and Cribs, and even Marty fudding our ordinals bags. Good morning to him. Marty's great. Man, am I bullish on the ordinals. On the ETF side, again, this is how I kind of measure the TradFi kind of traders. Not looking good yesterday. We're looking at the Bitcoin ETFs, 516 mil in outflows. Outflows across the board here. And then on the ETH side, 78 mil in outflows. By the way, when you see tweets out there saying BlackRock bought X amount of Bitcoin yesterday, BlackRock sold X amount of ETH yesterday, when you see those, just know that this is also people misleading you. Like most of the stuff on X, this is people either not understanding how this works or purposefully trying to manipulate you. Reason being, it's not BlackRock really buying this stuff and selling this stuff. This is people buying it via ETFs. You know what I mean? So it's pretty misleading. Just thought you guys should be aware, and you probably are already. That said, man, this growth is still coming. It is. It's coming fast. It's coming furious. It's going to be a massive year for crypto. It is. We've got a new filing for a Polkadot ETF here. Grayscale's filing for that. So a DOT ETF. We also have the SEC acknowledging Grayscale's Cardano ETF. Tons of ETFs will come this year. Filings and approvals, they're coming. And we also had big news, guys, that Citadel Securities is coming into crypto. They're going to be a liquidity provider on these major exchanges. And man, that is good and it's bad. There's some people who don't look at this as super bullish, and I get that take. Bullish because it's another major entity coming into this space. These guys manage something like almost $70 billion worth of assets. There's something like they're in the 60 to 70th biggest asset manager in the world. They're huge. But the downside is when you get these people coming in to market make, that also means manipulation kind of comes with it. It does. And again, it's what we're seeing in the market right now. So the good is more liquidity coming to the market. Another big name, another big player, somebody else who's going to put crypto, legitimize crypto, right? It has that effect. Pudget Grandpa, thank you, sir. Jeez. But yeah, the flip side is manipulation, and that almost certainly is coming. But they're planning to be a liquidity provider on Coinbase, Binance, Crypto.com. And they're only coming in because they know what's coming. They understand that crypto is now not a fad. and it's not a scam, and it'll be here forever at this point, especially with the Trump administration really legitimizing this stuff here in the United States. We're still waiting for some really tangible things to be realized, but it is coming. It is coming. Now, as far as why the market is doing what it's doing, why? I don't think anybody has a great answer for that quite yet. And if there is a great answer, I've yet seen it. I think it probably has a little something to do with tariffs again. I think. Now, the dump started a few hours before this announcement, but maybe people knew it was coming. Guys, the tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods, it is happening, right? It was announced, it was put on pause. And maybe we thought it was just a little like playing hardball publicly, but it sounds like it is happening now. So Trump confirming tariffs on Canada and Mexico, 25% tariffs starting on March 4th. Guys, that's in what, 10 days? It's a week from today. A week from today, we have a 25% tariff on goods coming from Canada. An additional tariffs on steel and aluminum on the 12th. No details there on the tariffs for Mexico, but I think a lot of what's happening in the market is directly because of that. It's not the Libra stuff. It's not the Bybit. That doesn't help either, but I think it's very specifically because of tariffs. Now, we'll see. Maybe it gets walked back again, but at some point, is the market too spooked to bid on crypto again, not knowing what comes next? I don't know, but I think that's the main reason here. Again, if you guys have other info on what's led to this crash, I'd love to hear it. I don't see anybody actually dialing into what it is. I'm not sure. But it makes sense to me it's tariffs news again. But also, guys, the manipulation. Before we dumped yesterday, in fact, yesterday morning, we talked about these liquidation levels. Marty Party shows this stuff. He is probably the single best account to follow out there. If you want to get into TA, if you want to try to understand the stuff just a layer deeper, he's fantastic, guys. Like, I've learned a ton from this guy. And so he regularly puts out these liquidation levels, and what you're seeing is leverage. You're seeing positions here, but leverage positions. And what he's inferring here is that these exchanges, Binance, especially Binance, they manipulate the price to wipe out these positions. They make money on that. They trade the other side of it. And so he's showing that Bitcoin, we had a whole bunch of longs that were down here that have been erased. In fact, where's this now? This is, I wish I could zoom in a little further. Hang on, let me see if I can zoom in. But this is what he shows. There were a whole bunch of longs down here he pointed at yesterday, and I think they were right around this 92, 93K range. Gone. They liquidated them. Those are gone. And what they do next is, these are all a whole bunch of shorts. They next, according to Marty, they pump the price up to liquidate those guys. And I'm telling you, I follow this stuff without fail. It happens, and he calls the levels correctly too. Again, looking where those leverage positions are, it happens the way he says. The orange red lines are like 100x leverage, all the way down to, I don't know, maybe we're talking like 10x on the blue lines. But this is stuff you got to pay attention to, and it does make me, man, it really makes me question who we're trading against. Is it the exchanges here that we thought are offering us a service to trade on their platform, and they are, but I never would have thought they're trading against us, and all kinds of evidence that that's exactly what's happening. Putting out some info on that yesterday, showing this is Binance's wallet and their Sol balance, and it compares it to Wintermute, who is, I think, the largest market maker, right? So they're trading tokens, they're providing liquidity to it, but they also move this market. They do. Showing Binance, their Sol balance dipping here at the same time that Wintermute's comes up. So I don't know if you can read into that the way he is, but we'll do it anyways for fun. He's saying that Binance is sending their Sol to Wintermute to then go dump on the market. And apparently that was in this range when Sol went from $300 down to 150. I think he's right. I think he is, because what he's saying makes a ton of sense. I don't know how he can be that accurate so often with his predictions. And this is all on chain too. It's not like he's just invented this stuff. What I don't know if I can believe is the motivations for what we see in the charts and what we see in the market, right? Is it exactly like he's saying? I can't connect those dots on my own because I don't know enough, but he's putting together a pretty compelling argument here, backed up with facts from on-chain. I'm not shocked by it. I don't think we should be. Heidi's, thank you, man. Plasticities. Hang on, let me check the name again. Plasticites. Dude, I fuck up your name all the time, but appreciate you. By the way, Plasticites, Appreciate your tweet yesterday. Really, really nice tweet. He tweeted about the show, and he listed a few content creators here in Abstract that that he likes to watch, and he included me there, which is so fucking cool. So thank you, man. Anyway, I think Marty's correct. We'll find out because this is a scandal, and the reason they can do it is they're not really regulated. Overseas, they're not. So they can do it because they can do it. That simple. Here in the States, that would be illegal. It's good stuff to know. Also, interesting timing here that this follows the Bybit hack, and Bybit just went and bought a whole bunch of ETH, right? And they took out a whole bunch of loans. Is this even more coordinated? Is it? Because I don't see why it couldn't be. Because when the market dumps like this, they also make a lot of profit. If these guys are playing the market, wiping out shorts, wiping out longs, and they're the ones controlling the price, they absolutely make money on these dumps. And then they also buy back in when they're done wiping the market out. When they're done dumping us to whatever level they want to get to, they buy right there. I'm saying that according to him, according to other people out there, I'm just reading their tweets and it makes sense to me. They buy back in and they're up again. Double dipping, triple dip, whatever. These guys make a lot of money in this market. They're not just making money on our fees. I promise you that. Here's Bybit just this morning, buying 87.5 million more ETH. In the past 3 days, bought, man, over $500 million. $500 million. These guys are playing the market. They're trading against us. And man, we you know, these guys, it's a whole other level of trading. And so if they want to dump a price, we have no control over that. If they want to pump it back up, again, we have no control over it. The market moves. We're trading secondary to them. We're probably trading third to them and then the whales. And then it trickles down to us. And we're playing between whatever ranges they're wanting to trade in. These are the first movers. Scandalous. It is. That's a big scandal. I wonder if that comes to light more officially. For now, I trust Marty. But pointing out things like this, these guys aren't all kosher. They're not. Here's OKX. Pleading guilty to processing $1 trillion here in the States. $1 trillion of customer funds here with no license. They're paying $500 million fine. I mean, that fine's so worth it, right? We talked about this before, especially when Henry's been on the show talking about NFT projects maybe specifically, and why do they settle when they're under SEC investigation? Why don't they fight? Reason being is if you made millions of dollars already, and by the way, specifically talking about like that Founders Key NFT and like Stoner Cats, like why wouldn't you fight? But the answer is really obvious. Why would you fight when you made millions of dollars already? In the case of this, probably many, many, many billions. You make your billions, you pay the small fee. Compared to what you made, it's a small fee. And that's the game. These guys don't mind doing stuff that's illegal because they still make a ton. They make a ton, so they pay those fees. It's crazy. Cribs, exchanges all work together. Bail each other out. Yeah, you know, it's probably more PvE than we realize, because if they do work together a bit, they all make money. And then it's PvP, and you know, you dial in, it is PvP, but yeah, make no mistake, there's a whole other game going on here. Okay, so we got the tariffs, and we got the likely market manipulation, and then the things that we're looking forward to that help move this market into that next level, this run to probably $250,000 Bitcoin, $1 million bit, right? I know it's coming. I think we all know it's coming, but for that to happen, we're expecting the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. At the national level, but at the state level too, these state Bitcoin Strategic Reserves, guys, so far, we're not looking good there. I'm actually surprised by this. Wyoming, the home of Cynthia Loomis, didn't pass. It didn't pass there. It did not pass in Montana. It didn't pass in North Dakota either. So as of yesterday morning, 0 for 3. And then this morning, we get news that South Dakota's Strategic Reserve Bill also did not pass. So 0 for 4 at this point. Now, in the case of South Dakota, this will be refiled again next year. And look, it's just a matter of time till these do. I mean, all of them go through at some point. But maybe we're a year off from some of these. And I am surprised by Wyoming. But basically, they're all saying Bitcoin's still too speculative. It is. It is. I get it. Stitch, good morning, man. And Bang, good morning. It is, I get it. It is speculative. This is probably a harder battle than I would have thought. And to be honest, I think it has to happen at the national level first, and then the states fall in line. I don't think it's the other way around. Just a feeling. I think they need to follow the lead of the United States government here first. So we'll keep our eyes on that, but not great. And I'll tell you what, being very honest, maybe that has me recalibrating my expectations. I still know where we're going, but maybe reconsidering like how far off that is. Maybe it's a little further off. Maybe. Eric Trump tweeting out buy the dips. And I think Junior also tweeted it too. Don Trump Jr. and Michael Saylor retweeting, and it's the best advice. And I think they're right. I think they're spot on. Saylor also made news yesterday, guys. He has a digital asset framework, principles, and opportunity for the United States documentation, and he provided this. In fact, I think he presented it to the SEC's new crypto task force. Pretty damn cool, guys. Let me see if I got a little breakdown here. I think I do. Yeah, here we go. We'll see if we can get anything juicy out of here. But this digital assets framework, this will probably be silly to just read through out loud here. But basically, he's schooling these guys in digital assets. And I wonder if it's just crypto, if he does any NFT or RWA talk here too. By the way, more and more, I think when we talk, here we go. When we talk NFTs, I think in our heads, we need to start thinking, obviously, collectibles, right? Art, collectibles, gaming assets, whatever. But I think RWAs, we hear about it all the time. And I think this is actually starting to really, really bubble up. And so NFTs, RWAs, I think that's an easily relatable thing. So maybe normies understand RWAs more. But I do think we've heard for years that RWAs is how NFT mass adoption comes. I think it's right. I do. Clearly, gaming isn't doing it. We do have some gaming talk here, by the way. Todd, thank you, man. But RWAs. Anyway, Saylor presented that to the SEC's new crypto task force. Love to see it. By the way, what spaces am I in? Marty Party. I love that guy. And dude, others are buying. There's still plenty of buying going on here. Here's MetaPlanet. It's a Japanese company, bought another, guys, $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. This was announced just this morning. Another $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. These guys are buying almost as regularly as MicroStrategy, or Strategy it's called now. Almost as regularly, they're also buying. In fact, they matched it this week. Strategy bought $1.9 billion. Here's MetaPlanet, $1.9 billion. Huge money being thrown at this stuff, man. Incredible. And then look, if we do stick to cycles, if we go by historical trends, then we're still in a pretty good spot here. Here's Raoul Pal showing that right now we're mirroring basically what happened in 2017. And in 2017, we saw multiple pullbacks too. 5 28% plus pullbacks in Bitcoin. Most lasted 2 to 3 months before a new high. Alts 65% corrections. Doesn't matter. Here, we'll zoom in that. And so the pattern will look familiar, right? The chart will look familiar. We've been doing very similar stuff. Let's look at Bitcoin too. We'll zoom out a little bit and see how it lines up there. Actually, CoinGecko is a weird place to look at charts, but yeah, maybe that works a little bit. Yeah, it's probably hard to get an idea right here, but you guys get the point. I know anybody watching this expects these pullbacks. We expect it. It's part of that process. And I don't think anybody doubts that a new all-time high is coming sooner rather than later. And we also still are playing off of halving cycles. Yet again, Marty Party showing previous halving cycles. The end of these lines is where a halving occurred. So here's the halving April 24th. So we're in a new line here. And it's matching it up with previous halving cycles. Again, from the end of a halving cycle, or I should say the very beginning all the way up to the end. And if we're going by previous years, every single previous cycle has the same pattern. And it's always up and to the right. Always. Always. And we are right in that sweet spot. We're right in that zone. I'm not going to be shocked. Look, this is not going by any real TA. It's going by like just feels and trying to get a feel for when these dumps happen and why I think they happen. Like again, on the more manipulative side, it feels like something really big is coming. It is what it is. I just go by these feels, and I'm not telling you I'm buying because of this feeling. I don't feel that strongly, but I do feel like the part of that cycle post halving where we're supposed to cook, it feels like it's right around now. In fact, guys, maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was Friday, maybe it was over the weekend. We even showed that chart with the Bitcoin halving cycles and when the market moves. And when we looked at it again, it was in the past 2 to 3 days. We were about 8 days away from that part of the cycle. It might be here imminently. That next part up, and maybe they're just flushing out those longs here, making that money, and then we start to do this like parabolic thing. It might be coming. I don't know. But if we go by these kind of charts, and if we go by those kind of cycles, then something big is coming soon. Maybe it's like Raoul Powell says, and it's a few months. Or maybe it's actually coming here now. Could be. Matt Hogan. I love this guy. I think he's got awesome takes. Bad take, although this morning, though, not this one. This is a great take. And I'm going to pull up ordinals here in a second. I'll show you why. But prediction. By the way, Matt's been the guy who said he wouldn't bet on crypto having a bear market in 2026. He's been one of those guys consistently driving home this narrative of 2026 being a really great year for crypto, and I'm with him. But saying crypto's total market cap is going to rise by more than 100%. Next year, while the median asset price will fall 90%. Prince, man, thank you again, dude. Wild. I agree with him. It's something we do talk about here. Consolidation. It's coming. So the entire market is going to cook, specifically Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin outpaces altcoins. I think that happens. I do think we get this altcoin season as well, but what's changing here is Bitcoin going to separate from the pack. I do think that's going to happen here. But again, predicting this crypto market cap more than doubles in the next year. He clarifies here. He's in the next 12 months, within this 12-month period. Across the board, market cap weighted. I suspect there'll be a number of big winners, but that lots of small projects will fail. Guys, this is going to be very similar to like the NFT bear market. Like a lot of these things go to zero. Unlike the NFT bear market, though, where everything kind of came down too, right? This is going to be those cream of the crop premium assets going way up. Way, way, way up. And I believe, Marty, you'll hate this or love it. Hate it. You'll hate it. He's right. That should be the thing that's guiding your moves here. I think consolidate into the best assets. I think we're seeing exactly that in AI. I think we're seeing in AI a consolidation to the best assets while they're still coming down across the board. When this bounces back, those cream of the crop assets, I think, are going to outpace the rest. And we'll get crazy speculative stuff too, right? We'll get these 10, 20, 50, 100Xs. That'll happen along the way too, here and there, for sure. That never changes. But right now, I think the easiest plays are just get quality. And it's obviously Bitcoin, but there it is. Anyway, up into the right, consolidation to the best assets. And the big thing that's really coming here, I believe this, I do, is as these lesser assets, not to knock on anything, but the lesser assets either bleed out or just don't keep up with Bitcoin or whatever it is, I think the same happens in NFTs. I really believe the same happens in NFTs. And I think, what's going on here with ordinals? I think ordinals, we may be heading to an ordinal season. Maybe. For me, it's a matter of time till we get there. But is that this next 12 months? And if so, I'm not going to be shocked. Prince, tips will continue until morale and price improves. Amazing. All right, let me see if Magic Eden's having some trouble, maybe. There we go. When I talk about quality, a consolidation to the best assets, I really do think people are going to start looking at NFTs on ETH and Solana and say, like, why? What am I doing here? They're collectibles, and I like collectibles, but why am I doing that when there's rare premium assets on Bitcoin? And while I know most people don't look at them that way yet, I have a feeling when Bitcoin does make it up into the 150, 200K plus range, these are going to look a lot different to a lot of people. When Bitcoin's up in the $1 million range, ordinals are going to look a lot different to a lot of people. They will. And you guys know how this works. Most people are followers, right? It's going to take a big name, a big celeb, a big influential crypto personality that buys into ordinals and explains basically what I'm saying. It needs to come from the right person. But somebody's going to say what I'm saying, and it's going to be a person who is influential, and then game over. There's going to be a moment like that that'll happen. There will be. The right person will come along and say, guys, these are the most premium assets on any blockchain, period. And they'll say what I'm saying is there's not many of them, especially the top collections. There's so few. It's such an obvious thing. It's going to happen. These assets getting cheaper and cheaper. Puppets under 0.04. Node monks at 0.04. These prices are absolutely incredible. I'm not worried about them. I'm excited about this. I'm excited. Look, if they get cheap enough, I can actually buy one. If I were liquid anywhere, I would be buying one. Part of me, not going to lie, part of me is tempted to sell my V1 Punk. I don't know what they're worth now, but I bet you one V1 Punk basically equals a Node Monk or a Puppet, and that is tempting as hell. That is incredibly tempting. But at some point, this narrative flips, and that consolidation happens, not just in crypto with meme coins, altcoins, the majors, but it happens in NFTs. And the opportunity right here, right now, I could talk about this forever. It's not the financial advice thing, and I don't want to be so pushy. And I know I talk about it a lot, but I'm trying to make sure people understand the conviction here. I don't care about these prices. I don't care if they fall another 50% or 70%. It doesn't matter. I think we're looking at some of the most special NFTs, period. I put very few above them. CryptoPunks are in the same talk. But I do look at this stuff as that caliber down the road. I do. The top collections, I do. By the way, for what it's worth, all of these well over mint. Puppets, I don't remember Puppets mint price if somebody does, but Node Monks were 0.03, so still over mint. Quantum Cat's still 2 extra. Like, these are people, it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget, but they're still looking good. Now, Matt had a take I didn't like this morning. I don't mean to stay on Matt for so long. He's again, awesome. Here we go. What crypto is digesting right now is the end of the meme coin boom. Yikes. I don't agree, obviously. The combination of Melania, Libra, and the Lazarus Group using meme coins to launder stolen ETH will kill it dead, maybe not today, but within 6 months. Bad take. The good news is there's always already things to replace it, including institutional adoption of Bitcoin, stablecoins, tokenization, a rebirth in DeFi. But until they start making their presence felt, the loss of energy will create a drag on the market. He's right on that part, too. There is no replacing meme coins. You can speculate on anything, but maybe he's not understanding the culture here. And what he's really not understanding is that meme coins are pulling away the speculative part of altcoins, of the very things he's talking about. All of those things, a lot of their value is mimetic. And meme coins let you get right to it. Just the mimetic part of it, you're trading it. It's just vibes, sentiment, fun. It's the casino. The casino doesn't go away. It will never go away. We'll have phases of it. We'll have cycles of it just like right now. And I agree that those things were impactful. Melania, Libra, Lazarus Group, and the Trump token too. They all have a big impact here. But the impact is they're going to help clean it up, I hope. I hope it leads to, more transparency and better platforms. I hope that's what it does. But kill it? There's no chance. There's no chance. There's a 0% chance that meme coins are dead. If you can buy a thing, a speculative asset at the purest form, and make money on it potentially, it'll never go away. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And ultimately my point to him, my reply was that you can't underestimate what greed does. It is greed. It's greed. Who cares? I don't mind saying it's greed. I get greedy and I play meme coins too. If I think within a 10-minute window I can 2 or 3 or 5x my money, you better believe I will keep throwing money away and trying. I know I'm not going to do it, but I will keep trying. It's never going to go away. At the same time, his take is all correct other than that he thinks that meme coins are dead. Never will die. And boy, I wonder what it is. I'll have to sit and chew on this for a minute and think of what is somebody like Matt, who, by the way, is the CIO of Bitwise. This guy gets it. He gets investments. He really, really, really fucking gets it. But what does a guy like Matt miss about meme coins that has him thinking they can die ever? They can't. If meme coins are dead, then that means NFTs are dead too. And they're not. They never will be. They'll have cycles. They'll come back as well. But yeah, it's interesting. Maybe I could try to get Matt on the show. He's been on with Nate Geraci. Maybe I could get Nate to make a connection there and get Matt on the show. Would love to chat with him about this. But again, love this guy. Like, he's super, super smart, but it's not right there. Now, when it comes to the TradFi products he's talking about, he's right. That stuff's coming. It's growing within the next 6 months. I think he's spot on. Second half of this year is going to be something special. That I feel. Something like Athena raised $100 million to build a new blockchain to launch a TradFi-focused token. Backing from Franklin Templeton. The TradFi stuff, the RWAs I was talking about, it is coming. The season of RWAs is really, really, really coming. It is. And it's big money guys like him and the people that he works with. They're coming. They're coming for RWAs. Tokenized luxury goods, tokenized property will be huge. Tokenizing securities, all of it. All of it. Myself, you expect 2026 to be like 2018. Let's go peek at 2018. It's going to be fun. It's going to, man, we have the most special part of this run still ahead of us. We really do. So you think like, are you thinking exactly like 2018? Like we start basically like this, like we start at the top and it's just a bleed out throughout the year? Is that kind of what you're thinking here, myself? I didn't go far enough back, but you get the idea. Basically, we started at all-time high and just kind of bleeding out through the year. Could be. And I won't be surprised. This is where I get into this great unknown where I don't even know how to predict when this cycle tops. A lot of people were calling for like October, November this year to be the top, and it could be. Yeah. Interesting, Mice. Yep. I could totally see it. But then I start wondering, it depends. Look, doesn't everything hinge on when a Bitcoin strategic reserve happens? If that happens at the end of this year or early next year, maybe that's when we start getting all-time high points. But I would not be shocked to see it play out this way at all. Token, Billy just hit your buy zone. Nice. Are we talking about Billy Betts? I don't think we are, but I love Billy Betts. I think we're talking about Billy. Over on Abstract, thank you. Appreciate the Pangu, man. Yeah, dude, it's going to be wild. I know that. I know that the best part of the cycle is still ahead of us, and it's just a matter of when, and I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. And it's news like this that has me so excited. We caught this, I think yesterday morning after the morning show. Maybe this happened during, and I don't remember if we talked about it, but Robinhood is the latest to hear from the SEC and get word that they're closing their investigation. So we got Coinbase, OpenSea, Robinhood, no longer under SEC investigation. Beautiful for building in this space. I do think we talked about it, actually. And I'm hoping next up is projects like CyberKongz, other NFT projects that are under investigation that we don't know about yet, but I think that's coming next too. It's go time for a lot of builders here. Okay, 50 minutes into the show, we're going to finally get to NFTs. But, I mean, hey, maybe that's fair. There's not a whole hell of a lot going on here. But NFT sales yesterday, cross-chain sales, by the way, 12.4 mil in sales. Sellers down, buyers down, transactions up, average sale price up. And how about those trade profits? Wow, 7.4 mil in the negative. Holy cow. That is our second worst day of the year, I believe. And that's one of our worst days in many weeks. Brutal. People taking, like, what we talked about this yesterday too. What people do is you'll take a loss if you think the thing's going down even further. You're locking in when you get it, and in your head, you're like, I can just buy it back cheaper. You know, like we've all done that. So not surprised to see that. Also brutal. In fact, we'll look at some of the biggest losses here on the next screen. But here's your top collections move in this market. Courtyard on top, and then D-Market. I'll touch on those in a second. Gilded Guardian Heroes, I'm skipping those guys, and I'll skip this. It's a scammy collection. Gilded Guardian Heroes, Pudgy Penguins, Mad Lads, Puppets, Base Apes, SMB. And I'm going to push OMB, Gilded Guardian Avatars, and Hypeo into the top 10, replace a few of these. Courtyard and D-Market, I think, are interesting because they have products that reach non-crypto native audiences. I think it's super cool. Right? Courtyard is RWAs, basically. It's physical cards like sports cards and Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering with an NFT that backs it. So you hold the NFT, and at any point, you can swap it to get the physical card. It's sealed, it's graded, it's really cool. And then D-Market's gaming skins like Counter-Strike and Dota and Rust and Team Fortress, like really cool. These things will have a market. Doesn't matter what the market's like here in crypto, they will always have buyers. And they usually hang around this price point too, and they pump when there's big releases. At some point in the future, I think the whole leaderboard's going to look like this, like real-world products, and I like it. That makes sense that NFTs turn into that, you know? It makes sense. It just makes sense. And your top sales in the past 24 hours. I'll refresh this too, but you see Punk 2948 selling for 52 ETH. It's about $140,000. Now, what I'm going to do real quick, I just want to look at some of these top sales. What is that? I just want to see, that looks like Tyler's Penguin. I just want to see if any of these were sold at a big loss, right? I like to look at the trade profits on these trades, and you start to, again, really see where those losses add up. So let's check out this one. This one, no, not a big loss there. This one, big loss, right? So these really do start adding up. 284,000 2 years ago. This one sold at about $80,000 loss? $180,000 loss on this ape, right? And you start then multiplying that by how many sales, and it really starts adding up. Now, this is some blast, I have no idea. Fake Bored Ape collection, probably money laundering, right? A blast NFT going for 40 ETH. So that's not a loss there. Again, that looks like Tyler's Penguin. I want to check. But this sold at about a $50,000 loss. And this ape, not a loss there. But again, if we were to go item by item, we would really start seeing those losses adding up. It makes me want to spot check some more, but I'll do this quick. Just curious. This one, dude, a lot of fuckery over here, like on the rankings. Like, that's not real. It can't be. Interesting. Wow, somebody 2x their money on this one. And how about here? Small loss. Yeah, but if we were to go line by line, we would see tons of those all adding up to these big losses. Huge day of losses here. OMB today. Check this out. Let's go to the launch pad here. It's a big mint. This is one of the biggest mints of the year, by the way, guys. It is. Where is it? I thought it was here. It is today, though, guys. The OMB Black Eyes. There it is. OMB Black Eyes mint today. 0.021 Bitcoin. It's a very expensive mint. Let's say around $2,000. It's today. It's a big mint. Now, how many are there? Is there really 3,700? Dude, I'm watching this so closely. For the life of me, I can't even guess if this will sell out. It's so expensive. There's so few people that are bullish on ordinals right now. And there's so few people that are that are liquid enough. It just, it is what it is. But I'm watching it. This is one of those things that does help me gauge the health of the ecosystem. The Bitcoin one specifically, but broader NFTs like OMBs are a top collection over on Bitcoin. So I'm watching. I know people that are minting. I think our buddy Dead is minting. Plasticites. Never been a big fan of OMBs. Feels like they're just extractors. Not sure what they've contributed. Yeah, Cat's saying no way they sell out there. Plasticites, I wrestle with it. And then the flip side is I'm like, I appreciate just a good art collection. I'll tell you this. What I really appreciate about them is saying, fuck it, we're not going to hold this back and mint it in a bull market. Because in a bull market, it sells out. But I'm like, this is somebody who's just like, no, I make art. I release art when it's time to release it. The market doesn't matter. If people don't want to buy it, so be it. But the art is the art. It's priced how it's priced. It goes to the market. If people want it, I hope they do. If not, whatever. I love that that's not changing his his release strategy. There's something about it that is pure art that I like. And at the same time, I also feel what other people feel. I'm like, it's a very exclusive, pricey mint. And you know what I mean? Like, I wrestle with this. But ultimately, I think if it's art for the sake of art, then I love it. And Bitcoin is that ecosystem for the more, premium, pricey art. I know some people look at them and be like, what, premium price, like premium? But there's something so appealing about that art over time, right? Over time, I'm just like, yeah, I get it. It's just different. It's like punk rock, There's something about that. I think so, Plasticites. Dead, isn't it's ZK Shark, right? Dead, it's just a one-man show, right? It's not a project. It's just one guy, isn't it? I'm pretty darn sure that's the case. And I like how he's done small collections. He's got like the white eyes, and he's got the green eyes, and the blue eyes, and the orange eyes. I like that it's like this ever-expanding collection. I think all the way up to 10K in total, I think. Yeah, it's a one-man show. This is just one dude who's been minting these from very, very early on, and he's got this cult. Yeah, him and one other guy, I guess, Bless. But it's, I think it's just kind of, when it comes down to it, pure art PFPs, but they're so different. They're so different than a normal PFP, Where can I see more of the art? Because they really, I'll just search OMB. They're really unique, and that's so important. I think they look great. In fact, when you look through the collection, like the previews, it's not PFPs exactly. There's so much weird shit in here. Ooh, can we zoom in here? We can't really zoom in enough. Yeah, I think they look great. And you saw on that screen before, guys, 3 Bitcoin worth of those OMBs were swept. And that's somebody that's wanting to buy in here, right? That's somebody getting, I think, some spots to mint. They're really fucking cool. Funny enough, guys, I would think this is the art I would see on Tezos. Right? Like, it gives me the vibe of art we'd see on Tezos, on Hic et Nunc, and on, Hic et Nunc, perfect place. Like, some of these are really cool. And then when I think of that, when I make that association to Hic et Nunc, I go back to, it just feels so punk rock. Like, again, fuck the price. It's expensive, but fuck the price or fuck the market. Like, I'm dropping. It just, that's what I'm doing. And I respect it. If it's crazy, it's crazy. And in a way, it's kind of performance art, too. BlackRock transferred 200 million of ETH and Bitcoin to Coinbase. Interesting. Is that the ETFs, though? Is that them just covering? Because they settle their trades like the next day. Is that them settling like yesterday's ETF, like sells or buys or whatever? I don't know. So we'll keep our eyes on OMB. We'll get a good idea of that later today, tomorrow, how that sale's going. Good luck to those guys. Moving on, guys. Dookie Dash. Dookie Dash is one of like the man. Look, Web3 gaming was supposed to be the thing. And I hope you've caught enough of these shows to hear me where I've said, I don't think it's going to play out how people think. Not that there's not going to be a huge sea of Web3 games, but I don't know if that's going to be the mass adoption thing. Right, we know this. Gamers don't like it. And then specifically here in this space, you don't have a lot of gamers here. It doesn't fit the way we thought it would. I'm surprised to see this because this was a game that I thought enough people liked that it would continue. And maybe I thought that there was enough, there was maybe like not so much effort work that goes into keeping this running. I'm talking about Dookie Dash, that I thought this would be just a thing that continues on. But no, Dookie Dash is done, guys. It's over. 2 years and Dookie Dash is now over. So that was a Faraway app. Or game, right? Yuga Labs sold it to Faraway. But with Season 1 wrapped, we made the decision with Faraway to sunset the game in its current form. Dookie Dash will be coming down the road. Will be coming down at the end of the week. What I think that means, by the way, is Faraway's going to own still the engine, the app, the gameplay. I imagine there'll be a big update for the app. And I wonder if Bored Apes won't be in it. It'll be reskinned as a different kind of game, right? Although this is interesting, too. Expect to see the game resurface once our persistent world goes live. Oh, okay. Hang on. I know. Now I get what's happening. Okay. What's happening there is they're going to bring Dookie Dash back in the other side metaverse. It'll be like a 3D game. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty obvious what's going to happen there. So, like, the idea worked and it was addicting and fun. And now it's like, well, if the idea worked, we need stuff, we need content for the other side metaverse. Let's bring this to the other side. I think that's what that is. And by the way, Faraway maybe releases it reskinned too, but I do think it comes back in the other side. Jed, what do you think of that? I think it's coming back. Still, it feels like the end of an era, kind of. Again, it'll be back, so whatever. But GG's to people who liked it, and GG's to Hudah and Faraway for that. It's over. We had another game announced that it's coming to an end here. The Mystery Society, and I'm not going to lie and say I knew much about this at all, but it's this broader commentary on this space, and that we don't have gamers here, and gamers don't want to touch crypto stuff. For now, they still don't. I do think Aiden Ross is the most interesting prospect here to get gamers into it, right? He's going to do this GTA server when GTA 6 is out. Aiden Ross has got a ton of potential to bring gamers in. He really does. But this game's done, and they were going to release a token called Mystery, and not happening. And here's maybe the CEO, founder, talking about it. Extremely sad to have to announce this. We worked our ass off to build a team, game, community that made us proud, and we did it with integrity. Much to say in the coming days on my thoughts on Web3 gaming, and I'll write up some post-mortem. I still believe in Web3 gaming, but I don't think it's going to work without a major shift in approach. Right? Like, what we're doing now doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I'm not going to say it won't ever work, because I do think it'll work. I think it takes, for the audience that's here and the kind of people that'll spend money on games, it's a different audience. It's not casuals. I know there's games like Fortnite and stuff like that with a micro. I know, right? But no, I think if you need to build something small and sustainable, you probably need to do what these motherfuckers look to be doing. It's a game called Citadel, which total coincidence that, we had the Citadel news. Guys, check out this trailer. And I also want to ask if you're familiar with EVE Online. Who's familiar with EVE Online? Steve, how low do you estimate Sol will go? You know what? I would love to pull up a chart and do a little TA, like very basic stuff, like support resistance kind of stuff and, moving averages stuff. But I don't know if we'll get a chance. I see calls that think we could get down to $100. I truthfully don't know. But what I do know is it doesn't matter if it's $100 or where it's at right now. I think it's on discount compared to where it's going. I just do. But, okay, check out this trailer. Who knows EVE Online? Because I think that's the sector that would do very well in crypto. I know it would. Even look at a game like No Man's Sky. If a game like No Man's Sky, a persistent 3D world with an economy, I don't know that game has an economy, by the way, but if you built an economy in, it would do well. Check this out. Here's Citadel. If that doesn't look impressive, I can just tell you, these online space sims, especially games where like it's persistent and permanent, and the ship you own, like you buy the ship, you upgrade the ship, you have economies, you have careers in these games. Like, they work. They have massive audiences, and I'll put EVE Online on here. I don't know if this is the best video, but man, this game made news years ago because, like, pull the volume down a little. This game, like, years ago made news because it had the biggest losses ever in a game in a 24-hour period. There's a huge online space battle. Again, people own their ships. Your ship's destroyed. It doesn't matter if it cost $100,000. If your ship's destroyed, it's gone. Your money's evaporated. And you can be a pirate in the game, and you can go steal people's stuff and their supplies. You can steal their ship, and it's worth real money. So that game made news, and so EVE Online and maybe that Citadel game, to me, are things that work. People spend a lot of money on those things, and maybe it's a smaller audience, but it's a hardcore audience. To me, perfect fit for crypto. Citadel looks like it's leaning into that stuff, and I'm super in. And this is random too. This is not new news, but EVE Online does have a crypto game coming. It's called EVE Frontier. So they're also going to be dabbling in this space. I think there's a big crossover there. I do. I think there's a big crossover with crypto in these space sim games specifically, and we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. We have Star Atlas, right? I think that's a crypto game too, or Star Citizen. I get those mixed up, but I think that's something that works. And if whichever of those games was crypto related on Solana, I believe, it does really, really decently. It's got its core audience. So keeping my eye on Citadel for sure. But we have to keep our eye on Eve Frontier as well. Interesting stuff. I need to follow those guys, by the way. Decentralized on-chain MMO. That's what works. And look, last point about Yuga Labs. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Mice. Star Atlas on Sol. Pixels on Ronin. Yes, sir. Ember Sword on IMX. Yep. Those are all great, man. Hoods. All these games with XP should be in crypto. Gamers should be able to actually trade items. Yes, dude, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you guys. There is a way this works. It will work. And again, Grand Theft Auto, I think, would be perfect for crypto. And we know now that Aiden Ross is moving that way. It's incredible. I think that'll work. So, stuff to be excited for here. What is that? It's Cardinal Sin. Oh, this is Citadel. Okay. That's Citadel still. Oh, yeah, last point about Other Side. Look, Other Side, we've gone in there, Project Dragon. You can run around and shoot. Cool. I still am hoping, God, I'm really hoping that they are going to build out an MMO. I really am hoping they're doing that. It's going to be a persistent world, right? The Other Side metaverse from Yuga. It's going to be a persistent thing. Hop in whenever. It's always on, always alive. It'll be full of AI agents, by the way. You know, it's definitely going to be. And by the way, if we're looking for a target, a catalyst, a time when stuff might really bounce back, here's a maybe thing. Circle on the calendar, maybe. But Other Side Metaverse, the persistent version, goes live in July. And I have a feeling, it's a maybe thing, but a feeling that AI agents at that point are going to be in a really good place where you plug them into metaverses. And so I think Other Side Metaverse comes to life with AI all over the thing, feels very alive. And then I'm hoping they build up the narrative and they turn it into a real legit MMO. Oh, man, Awful Eye. Okay, I disagree. I agree in its current form. If it becomes what they're, selling, different. A big MMO that's baked has crypto baked in throughout, I think it's a big deal. Groundbreaking, I agree there, other than the latency stuff and the concurrent players. Like, that was a world record they hit over the weekend. Most players in an FPS, 2,700 or whatever that number was, right? The tech is groundbreaking. That said, it's not Yuga's tech. Improbable is the impressive thing, right? Improbable from M Squared. That's who's impressive to me. They're the ones doing the groundbreaking thing. And I hope Yuga Labs uses it to build out this metaverse. I hope it's an MMO, very like RPG-ish, right? I hope. At least part of it is that. I hope. That's the part of the metaverse I'm excited for. So we'll see. Yo, thank you, man. Hang on. Immaculate, dude. Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you for the pengu. Yeah, gaming bags are wrecked, right? Across the board. It's a rough sector. But yeah, Awful Eye, we'll see. By the way, great to see you, man. And then we'll end maybe here. Yeah, I think this is a good ending point. Actually, hang on. We'll save that for the very end. Time.fun officially launched. I think this is super fucking interesting. Time.fun, TLDR here. Tokenize your time. Right? You launch a token. People spend the token to get access to you. It's like friend tech. It's like anything. Look, SocialFi will be a thing at some point, some way. In the right system, is this it? People want to book your time and have a meeting with you, or be able to DM you or whatever. They just got to own your token. I like the idea a lot. I like it a lot. That's cool. That's really cool. Something there. Is that the final product? You know what I mean? Is that the way SocialFi works? I'm not sure. Awful Eye again. I don't know, man. Feel like they're dropping the ball. They had so much hype. Yeah, they fucked up bad. The fact that they basically hit the brakes on what they were built, they should be 2 years further down the road. Right? They should be 2 years down the road, and they're not. So I like this. Time.fun. Tully, one of the co-founders of Solana, launched here. I think his token's like a 10 mil market cap or so. I'm trying to remember what the breakdown was of like how much does it cost per minute. With him, I think it was like a couple $100 basically. I like the idea a lot. Just like I like the idea of tokenize everything, let the market, meaning us and them and whatever, let us figure out what it should be worth. But it's interesting. Okay, and then finally, Jakey. This is related to the Libra hack or Libra, scandal here. Hang on. You lost a heck of a lot on Rebel bots in 21, 22, trying to catch the next Axie. Brother, dude, I feel you. I think all of us got demolished one way or another, via some game. The narrative made sense. If we were still locked, hey, if COVID were a thing and we had the next virus and we were all locked down still, I think it would have played out. But it didn't. It's a bummer, dude. I hope you've recovered, though, Okay. Libra, scandal, crazy shit. I still think we're waiting to get the full fallout. Jakey was one of the guys that was mentioned in that like secret recording, right? With Ben from Jupiter, Meteora, whichever. Jakey was one of the guys that was basically accused of being one of those insiders who had a sniper bot and was insider trading. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. He was mentioned twice in this thing, though, in that call. And he's always given me those vibes. He's also the guy that had the single worst take when it came to people tweeting about this stuff, right? His take was, hey, man, people who put their time and their effort into building and making content, they do it in the bear, too. He's like, they've built that advantage, right? Them getting info early is, it's a skill. And I don't think he's wrong, by the way. Said it then, I'll say it now. He's not wrong, but also nowhere in that thing did he call out the actual bullshit that was Libra. He didn't call it out anywhere. All he did is defend people who have early info, which made me think, this guy, maybe he's not that smart. And I'm not saying this to be shitty, but maybe he just didn't realize how he should reply to something like that. Or maybe he's got that advantage and he knows how much work he puts into his content, which he does, man. This guy works his ass off. I guarantee it. But it's like clouding his judgment with this. And sometimes that moral line gets a little grayed. Not any accusation here, but I also think he gets early info and he even admits that here. Let's watch a little bit of this here. We're not going to do the full 10 minutes, I don't think, but let's check it out. Hear his own words.
I'm sorry to everybody. Or the Logan Paul. I've been very non-self-aware. So let's just go over really quickly. What's the main FUD? Yes. Breaking news. I knew who Hayden Davis was. I was familiar with his brother. I was familiar with Kelsier Ventures. This photo was taken back in March at the Waldorf, I think it's called, restaurant in LA. And we met Hayden there to get lunch. At the time, I was a content creator for a Cube Exchange. I had met Hayden maybe 2 months before that in Chicago at the Cube office. That's where I was introduced to him and his brother at the same time in a manner of they were helping with the marketing side of Cube. They were running the KOLs from now on. And so I had close contact communication with Hayden for the solid 3 to 4 months that I was creating at Cube Exchange. As far as my communication goes with Hayden Davis and Kelsier Ventures, after Cube, I hadn't spoken to Hayden or anybody from that side. 4 to 5 months. I hadn't spoken to them up until Turkey, Istanbul, Kastanbul, when we all kind of met there. Steve had always kept kind of in contact with them here and there. He had mentioned that he was in Istanbul for Kastanbul. Steve had set up a breakfast for us to go meet with him. It had been a while, hadn't seen Hayden in a while, so I said, sure, we're not doing anything this morning. So we get to breakfast, basic catch up with Hayden, everything that's going on at Kelsier Ventures. He had mentioned to me very briefly that he was doing some big launches with Meteora. He had then told me the news that he helped facilitate, those were his words, the Melania launch. I had no idea of any of that, but that was the extent of what he had kind of expressed at that breakfast. We went on to tell him that we were actually planning on going to Egypt after Istanbul, and he had mentioned he had connections in Egypt, and so he would set us up with a car, set us up at the Four Seasons. He did all that. Within that conversation, he had invited us out to Barcelona. He had invited us to Barcelona many times when we were over at Cube. We just never took him up on the offer. We figured this time, since we were over on that side of the world, and he had he was going to set these things up for us in Egypt. We figured, yeah, why not, you know? So we went to Egypt, used the car that he had set up, stayed at the Four Seasons, and then killed some time in Paris. So skip to Monday, we land in Barcelona, Spain. We go to a dinner. It was a table this size that's in front of me. We sat down, it was mainly seafood. I hate seafood, so there was a man across from me at the table, a bald guy. I actually forgot his name, and he was asking me, you know, about my content. He was very infatuated with the content that I'd been creating in Solana. Said that he loved my selfie days. He was asking who my team was and everything.
Man, I don't think I want to hear more.
A pretty small
you guys want to keep hearing
filming.
stuff?
And then he had gone on to tell me that he had been working with Tristan Thompson in some capacity. Tristan Thompson was coming out with a crypto podcast, and he'd love to get me as a guest. He was very adamant about that. At a moment at that dinner, there was a comment made about sniping. I had said that there are apps or platforms that you can snipe on called Nova and Trojan. I've never actually I used Trojan a little bit, but the snipe feature wasn't available when I went to use it. I've never used Nova. These were just apps that I knew, or platforms, sorry, that I knew existed.
So he's saying he doesn't
I was
snipe.
entering the conversation and been like, oh, I know Nova and Trojan offer some kind of sniping to a degree. It's now come to my attention after all of this that you can only snipe pump fund launches on it, which I actually didn't know. And I inevitably left the dinner early because I had a stream to get to. I was interviewing the MLG founders. This was a couple hours before the Aiden Ross stream with Banks and all that, and I wanted to capture some of the attention and do like the pregame. So I actually left the dinner early. That was the dinner in Barcelona. Anyway, skip to the next day. I woke up to a Telegram message.
Why do I believe people? When I hear people talk, I believe them.
From Madi / DeFi Tuna or whatever, asking if he could put me in a group chat with Tristan Thompson for this crypto podcast. I said, sure, I'd love to go on this podcast. That was my overall only communication with this guy, Madi. That was it. I actually watched the leaked footage of Madi and Ben Chow. Again, I didn't even know who Ben Chow was or what he looked like until Istanbul. That was the first time I think I've met him in person. So I just want to make that clear. Now, after us kind of going back on time.
Here's where this guy maybe gets fucked. Maybe.
Actually showed us a picture that he posted on Instagram, which we had already seen, but we acted like we didn't see, that he was advising Javier Milei. So we figured, you know, him, actually showed us a picture that he posted on Instagram, which we had already seen, but we acted like we didn't see, that he was advising Javier Milei.
He'll be fucked if the Hayden dude comes out. Right? If the Hayden guy comes out and he spills the beans on anybody who's been doing shady shit, you know, that's where he could get in trouble. If he was doing any of that stuff, that's what he's gonna have to worry about. But also, man, yeah, it'd be weird to put out a video like this if you knew somebody else knew that you did trade off that insider info, because then it's game over. Then you're done.
So trade and the minutes I had just mentioned, 9 to 10 minutes, and I traded just like everybody else. You can have opinions on me. I got pink hair. I'm loud. I'm annoying. I'm a content creator. Whatever you want. You want to call me a LARP, that's fine. But one thing that is black and white and is not opinionated is that I had no part in any of these launches. I did not receive any insider information. I don't know how to snipe, and I never received any token allocation. All in all, in this situation, it's black and white. Wrong place, wrong time. Guilty by association. Anyways, here's the rest of the video. I want to make it something a little bit more than just a fucking gay statement like this, where it feels like a YouTube apology video. I want to throw a little bit of mix into it, air it all out.
So, like, one of the biggest things, his biggest point here, and I skipped right over it during this thing. Whirly Girl, by the way. What happened to Hayden? So far, nothing. People do that all the time. Yeah. A wing and a prayer approach. Yeah, right. So his main argument here, I don't know if he's being honest or honest or not. He's like, look, do I have insider info? He's like, yes and no. He's like, as in, he knew ahead of time that the token was coming out. He knew that Hayden was working with Milei. So he knew that was happening, so he knew a token was coming, but he didn't get a tip-off early that it was coming at whatever time. He didn't have the contract address early. He's saying that he saw it go live, like, along with everybody else. Like, he got notified with everybody else. And then I saw somebody reply in this tweet, basically that he's on stream when he found out. Somebody said that it was on a GG stream. And but I don't know the timing of the Gigi thing and when that happened. And was that before it actually went live, or like the instant it went live? Right? Like this is stuff we don't know. Yeah, hang on. Was it here? Yeah, hang on. I want to find this specific tweet. Yeah, actually here it is. Let's check that out. Here's when they found out. But it's like, was the token already live and then he heard about it live on stream? Or did they literally get it the second it went live? Because if it was the second it went live, you know it came in like a Telegram group or something. If it was a tweet, then it's different. Here, let's see if we can find that moment. Okay, hang on. It happens early.
Okay, so this is the other one that everyone in the chat was like, this is a volume play. This is a volume play. It looked like that, right? It definitely looked like that. It hit supposedly.
I see this real, but I think my lanes dropped.
Did it? Send me the CA.
So they find out live on stream.
Okay, maybe something dropped.
Now, Gigi bought the wrong token. So she went out and searched for it, and she bought like some old Libra token. But like, did he find out from like a tweet? Did he find out because somebody's like, we just hit go? Oh, I would love to know what they're looking at. Whirly girl, that's not a bad point.
Well, let me show you this anyway.
She's wearing sunglasses
so this
for a
was
reason.
another one that I saw on stream. Like, oh.
So she's searching for this stuff.
Coin.
Argentina. She could be covering too, by the way. She could have bought Libra and now showing this shit.
Rug. I'm not saying you should buy some, but I mean, he seems like maybe he's hacked, but okay, take it. So 2x. This is what we're looking at.
So she got it right from the tweet.
Already a flow. Okay.
It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't tell me you wouldn't have on that.
Coin.
Wrong coin.
What? That's not the right coin? Great. Which one is it?
Please don't tell me you wouldn't have on that.
I did.
Oh my god, get out.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my god, are we down to 2.3 billion?
Okay. Okay, well, I want to see where it's at. He said in his video, by the way, he bought it like 2.5 bill, which would be, we could look at the chart. Remember, this got to 4.5 bill, but it got there in just like 40 minutes. It happened really fast.
Okay, apparently this is like a real coin.
So how early did you have to find out about it to catch it when it was on its way up to that 4.5? I'm going to check.
Apparently this is the real coin. This is a real coin.
So they caught this within 30. So this thing dies. This says 32 minutes ago. This thing dies 8 minutes, 10 minutes later it dies. Dude, Libra's $30 million. Holy fuck. Libra's fucking wrecked. That's wild. Okay. I don't know, man. I think the video makes them look... We don't know what Jakey. And we could take this. Hang on. Jakey gets up. Okay, hang on. This is maybe interesting. Check this out. Age of the token is 32 minutes at that point. Jakey gets up. Basically 10 minutes before that. So Jakey finds out within the first 20 minutes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we learn anything from this. And I'll show you where he found out, like around the price he found out. I don't know. This maybe exonerates the dude a little bit, right? And Whirly Girl, again, a great point. They could be playing dumb for the camera that they bought and then they act on there like, but I don't know. I don't know. If anything, I'm starting to believe the guy. Benny's saying, I don't believe she bought an old coin. She's not a rookie, right? Because she says, and everybody says she's a gangster of a trader, right? She's like amazing. Okay. So token launched, and so when we think he bought 20 minutes in. Which puts it hang on. 16 puts it around here, which is around when he said he bought it. That puts it right here. He said he bought around 2.5 bill. The story lines up. He bought here. The story lines up. Yeah, I don't know. The price is streaming on the bottom. You mean like the overlays on this show, John? It's a good point. I actually think I need to check. I need to double check that, dude. We might have stopped. By the way, you don't see it on Abstract, I don't believe. But when I stream on YouTube and on X, I've got like the overlays and graphics on the thing, and it streams. Yeah, okay. This streams. Yeah, actually, maybe I need to stop streaming this way. We stream these overlays, and it's got tickers and like headlines. We might have stopped doing it. We had talked about that internally because, guys, at this point, everything is Slam AI. Like SlamX, that name is going to go bye-bye. Kind of already is. So I think we had talked that I'm just not going to use the overlays anymore. Just stream direct to YouTube and shit. And maybe they stopped updating that stuff. It looks cool. It's a bummer. If more time could go into that, it's a cool look. But also, I don't think we need it. Plus, I don't get to stream in HD when I do it that way. So, worth mentioning that. Pudgy Grandpa, dude, thank you very much. And above that, My Last Cycle. Fucking great name. Yeah. I don't know. Either I'll keep it up there and that can be a meme of the show, that everything's outdated. But anyway, yeah, man. Jakey's story does line up. So we'll see. We'll see with that. All right. I got a meeting coming up in a couple minutes, guys. Great hanging with you, like always. Afternoon show at 2 p.m. today. 2 p.m. Eastern time, talking AI. I might ping Bunshu, the dev behind Billy Bet, see if today is the day he'd maybe want to come on. Would love to chat with him. And then newsletters coming out today, guys. I tried a new format with the newsletter. I think it's my favorite version yet. I think it is. If you guys don't subscribe, you should subscribe. I'll drop a link to it in both chats. But basically, I'm doing less commentary now. I'm doing more like bullet points. So I do the top few stories with the bullet points under each. But what I added newly is a little crypto section and an AI section, where before I would include them if there was a top story. Now I've got them in there and at the very least cover prices. I like where it's going now. Let me drop you guys a link to subscribe. Comes out every Tuesday. I do want to start doing it. I want to start doing it daily. At some point, I will do it daily. But if you want to Prince, dude, thank you, man. Sign up if you want to sign up. You should sign up. This is, I think, guys, the longest running newsletter in NFTs, at least. This has been 4 years every week doing this newsletter. It's just evolved into not just NFT stuff. More comprehensive now. But again, I want to work to get this to be a daily thing. So we'll get it there. Anyway, Have a great day. Follow along on all the socials. The Swarm_AI flagship agent news coming. It might be today. It's coming. SlamAI_XYZ. CryptoSlamIO. And you can follow me at Hudah_idiot. Guys, we'll see you later. Peace.